are going to break down exactly how media functions as a critical business system here. And to be clear, this isn't about creative theory. It's about understanding media as infrastructure, the kind that directly controls attention, trust, and yes, revenue.
So I want to start with a really important question because it gets right to the heart of a huge misunderstanding. When you're creating content, are you just working on an art project? Is your main goal to make things look nice?
The answer is a hard no. It's not an art project. What it is a high-stakes operational system. Every single piece has a specific job, a purpose, and a direct link to the business's bottom line. Let's dig into what that actually looks like.
Okay, first things first, we have to completely shift our mindset. Media is not decoration. It's not something you just tack on at the end to make things look pretty. It is the very first thing a potential customer sees. It's the front line, where trust is either won or lost in a matter of seconds.
So let's use our official operational definition. Media is a system built on 3 core pillars: visibility, positioning, and repetition. Its job? To manage that critical first impression, build trust, and then, very efficiently, turn that attention into an actual lead.
And this is the absolute key. Every single post, every video, every image you create has to answer one fundamental question for the person looking at it. Do I trust this business enough to take the next step? See, your job isn't to be clever or artsy, it's to build confidence and remove friction so that they feel completely comfortable moving forward. Now, let's get into the mechanics of it all. The platforms we use, they're not just a bunch of separate channels. They are an interconnected ecosystem. And in that system, each platform has a very specific job to do in guiding that customer.
You should think of Instagram as the modern-day storefront. It's the new business card. When someone hears about a brand, what's the first thing they do? They pull out their phone and look them up on Instagram. It has become the #1 credibility checkpoint.
And every single part of that profile is a tool with a purpose. Reels? They're for grabbing new eyeballs, for fast attention and reach. Posts? That's for your core branding and education. Stories are for that daily human connection. Highlights act as a neat, organized portfolio of proof. And the bio? The bio has to give clear, simple directions. It all has to work together to build a trustworthy presence.
Next up, TikTok. Now, this isn't just a place for dancing and trends. For us, it's a powerful discovery engine. Its primary function is to get high-volume, organic reach. It's where we test ideas and get our message in front of a massive new audience, and fast. The name of the game on TikTok is speed and volume. It's all about short, vertical videos that are hook-based, meaning they have to grab attention in the first 1 or 2 seconds. Success here really comes from repetition and being aware of trends so you can adapt them to your message, not just blindly chasing them. All right, let's talk about the foundational pieces. If social media is the initial handshake, then the company website and the Google business profile, well, they're the firm, reassuring look in the eye that follows. These are the trust anchors that solidify your digital credibility. On the website, this means having strong hero sections and a really clear visual flow that just screams professionalism. On the Google profile, it's about providing instant legitimacy with consistent, high-quality images and real reviews. The job of both is to prove that this business is real, it's professional, and it's reliable. Okay, to run this system effectively, you absolutely need the right tools. But let's be crystal clear. The goal here is not artistic perfection. It's efficiency, it's consistency, and it's organization. The entire toolkit is chosen for speed and reliability. So here's our toolkit, and each tool has a very specific operational purpose. We use Canva for consistent branding and static designs, CapCut for fast, clear, short-form video, OBS for recording authority-building tutorials, ChatGPT for efficient captions and hooks, and Google Drive is the central, organized library for absolutely everything. These are not optional, they are mandatory for running the system. You know, having the best tools in the world is useless without a solid process. A clearly defined workflow and strict standards, that's what separates professional output from amateur hour. And they are non-negotiable, because systems are what protect quality when you're working at scale. And this workflow, it's not a suggestion, it's the process. Every single piece of media goes through these 6 steps in this exact order. You start with a goal, you choose the right format, you create with purpose, you review it against our standards, you finalize and save the asset properly, and then you publish. You don't get to skip steps, ever. And these are the standards you're reviewing against. The difference is night and day. We are always aiming for clean visuals, direct messaging, and consistent branding. Everything has to look intentional and professional. The alternative, visual clutter, vague language, random fonts and colors, it's just unacceptable because it completely destroys trust. Okay, now for the most important part. Let's connect all of this work to the ultimate goal, revenue. Because this isn't about getting likes or vanity metrics, this is about making the entire sales process smoother, faster, and way more effective. It all starts right here. A strong, professional online presence immediately starts building credibility. The second a potential customer sees those clean visuals and clear, confident content, their natural skepticism starts to melt away.
And that credibility does something incredibly powerful. It reduces friction. Think about it. A lead who already trusts you is so much easier to talk to. They ask better questions, they're more open to your solutions, because you already removed that initial wall of doubt with your media.
And when that branding is totally consistent across every single platform, it reinforces authority. The business just looks stable, organized, and reliable. And you know what that does? It makes the decision-making process for the lead way, way simpler and a lot less stressful. So if you remember one thing, let it be this. Media is the essential support system for sales. It warms up the entire conversation before it even begins. So while it might not close the deal all by itself, the sales process becomes incredibly difficult, sometimes even impossible, without a strong media foundation in place. And finally, let's talk about your role in all of this. This is not some casual task you do when you have downtime. This role demands serious accountability and complete ownership of the brand's public perception. So, these are the core expectations. You have to see media as a fundamental responsibility, not just a task. You need an obsessive attention to detail. Rigorous organization is absolutely mandatory. This is not just about making a few posts. It's about upholding the brand's entire reputation with every single asset you touch.
Never, ever forget this. The work you do in this role isn't abstract or fluffy. It has a direct, measurable impact on how much money the business makes and how it is seen by the world. It is a position of significant trust and responsibility.
So I'm going to leave you with this one question to think about. When you sit down to work, are you just building decoration? Are you just adding pretty pictures? Or are you methodically building the operational system that attracts attention, builds trust, and makes growth happen? The mindset you choose will determine your impact.